did. Oh man, my camera. God dang it. What's up, guys? So today we are going to be double towing these F-250s. These are trucks for a construction company. We're moving them from one location to another. We have a lot of trucks that we had to tow. So I'm going to be double towing these today, meaning this one's going on the bed and this one's going on the wheel lift. So I'm going to show you how to get all those hooked up and just kind of how to double tow, something I don't show a whole lot of on the channel, so we're gonna get to it. All right, so first things first, we gotta get this one loaded up, which is going to be kind of an important part of the whole point of this video, which is kind of how to operate a rollback, how to double tow with a rollback. This particular truck is has a Miller bed on it. Should be a Miller Vulcan. So those of you that have ran tow trucks before might have noticed how I had the truck set up. I have the longer wheelbase one that I'm going to put on the bed. Shorter wheelbase I'm going to put on the wheel lift, and I will show you why in a little bit. First, I'm going to get these hooked up. I'm going to hook up here to that frame slot. It's dumb because Ford has a frame slot right here, but it's a pain in the butt to get the tow hook to. One of the little mini J's in, because it's right there between the control arm and the frame. So I always go up on these to these big round holes on the frame. Plus that shortens up the chains so I can get the truck further up the bed. All right. Now, you probably can't hear it because these are gas trucks, which is also nice because it makes them a little bit lighter. They are running right now. So I'd had to jump start them to get them running so I could get them out of the parking spots. So a big thing to consider when you're double towing is if you're going to have any overhang on the bed, which is why I arranged these in the order that I arranged them in. Normally I probably would have liked to have done this the other way, but for educational purposes we're going to do it this way so I can kind of show you instead of just kind of talk about it. You can actually see what I'm talking about. See how long a wheelbase that truck is? Like, it's already almost all the way up the bed. Yeah, it's like already almost all the way up the bed. The rear tires are barely up. We have a little bit of overhang off the end of the bed. That's going to be kind of an important thing when we go to throw the other one on the back. See how we have a little bit extra room here, not really so much on the winch cable. We're going to stop right about there. Throw this back in park, roll our window up. I'm going to leave the window cracked because I'm gonna leave the keys in it. So now we're gonna roll our bed up. Heavier trucks like this, even though this is a gas truck, it's not really that heavy. I like to get the bed as far forward as I can before I tilt the bed down. That way more weight is over the truck. The little support foot down there will hold the weight instead of the hydraulics in the bed holding the weight. Because this truck is such a long wheelbase, I'm gonna put my straps to the insides instead of like front to back like I would normally on like a shorter wheelbase vehicle. Just because there's less room to hook back there in the front, and then you have a whole bunch of strap you gotta roll up. If this were a diesel 3/4 ton, let me turn this idle down. I don't have to yell so loud. If this were a diesel 3/4 ton, I would have liked to have put chains on the back of it instead of straps. But this is a gas truck, so it's not too much heavier than a normal half ton. A little bit heavier, not too much. Hook my in here. So I get asked a lot, like why I hook so far high, like on this one. How the wheel's designed, it was either grab it here or grab it down here. If you grab too low, you're not really getting any leverage to pull down and tighten the straps. So then the vehicle likes to rock back and forth because you're hooking the wheels and tires, which is the part that rolls. Then you don't really have the leverage working for you. You know, if you have down here, this strap is to keep the vehicle from going forward. But if you have it here, the wheel's going to want to roll to about right here in that area, you know, the 9 to 10 o'clock area, before that strap really is effective. So I like hooking up high. Eventually I will make a video on securement and how to load stuff up a little bit more in detail than this. This is a very basic look and mostly focused on double towing. Although I have been wanting to make a video on kind of the how-to side of operating a rollback. So if you would like to see a video like that, leave me a comment. Let me know if that's something you would like to see in a future video. Alright, so this one's done. So now, if you look how much overhang we have over the end of the bed, as opposed to our wheel lift, that's fully retracted. So, if we go out all the way, keep in mind, the further you have that out, the more weight you're gonna have, which means you're gonna be wanting to pop a wheelie, and it's just, you know, you gotta find the balance, plus you gotta have it out far enough to where, and this is the big thing, to where your bumpers don't hit, you can have enough room to turn and all that. We'll look at that in a second. So we got to get these slid out because that's a full-size truck. I would assume probably 2 holes there probably be a good starting point. Before we get too close, we're going to pull our L-arms out. Have those staged and ready here. So if you back up, get this thing ready to hook up, you get the wheels up against the wheel lift there. Sometimes you don't have enough room to get those out. So now, obviously, if this vehicle didn't run, we would have to back up to the truck, which can be a pain sometimes because you can't see behind you, so you got to kind of, but since that one runs, we're going to back that one up to us. I'm going to do that with the airbags inflated. I'm also going to grab my straps. My light bar, which I stashed right here when I got out of the truck. So we're gonna have all that ready for us. One more, apologize for the winds. One more thing I wanna do here. These. All right. See how much my wheel lift is up now that my airbags are inflated. All right. So now let's back this one up to the wheel lift. So now obviously we want to be as centered as possible on the wheel lifts. This is where it can be a pain in the butt to gauge yourself when you're backing up. The truck to the casualty vehicle. So you want to be pretty centered. So see how we have, a little bit of room there. See how we did over here. Pretty close. Inch or so off, probably. We can either center the truck up a little bit more, or we could always adjust the L-arm, or just the wheel grid. I'm gonna try to go just a little bit over here, just by backing up real quick. I think still a little bit off, but that's actually about good. Man, I hope that didn't. Oh man, my camera. God dang it. Oh, that sucks. Oh well. Guess I get to buy a new lens for my camera. That sucks. Dang. Well, there goes that shot. I was really planning on using that to back up. Have that when I was backing up. Anyways, moving on. So, we're pretty centered there, which means we can cut this one off. this a manual seat? It is. Okay. So we can cut this one off. This one's manual windows and manual locks. I'm not really too concerned. So, a big thing when you're wheel lifting stuff is you have to secure the steering wheel on vehicles that do not have lock steering, which is most modern vehicles. You can do so by using the seat belt, and then, you know, you could also take ratchet straps, which a lot of people use ratchet straps. On this truck, I'm not super concerned with it. So now the steering can't turn on you while you're going down the road, because what'll happen is you turn one way and it wants to turn the opposite, and it just kicks out and wants to crab walk down the road behind you. So, putting our L-arms in, we're gonna open up that little cam lock. This is kind of different on different beds. Some of them have the cam lock, some have pins, you know, have different style wheel grids. This particular one, I have it on that last hole. That way it has a nice little cup, so when we open up the wheel, it grabs the tire nice and tight. A lot harder for it to want to bounce out and come loose on us, even though we're gonna have it strapped. Same thing here. Get the click in like that. Now, this is where that overhang comes into play, because when we go to lift this up, that's gonna get pretty close. Wish I had that other camera angle so I could show you. This is gonna have to work. So now, you don't have to go very high on that, but you gotta judge that distance there, which is a little closer than I would really like, but I think it'll work. So, we're gonna strap our wheel lift down. This particular style of L-arm has these ratchets. There's a hole here on the L-arm. Put the little finger, the ratchet in there. Lasso the strap around the tire. This is being a full-size truck, the tire is pretty big, so you gotta open up the lasso pretty wide. Pull that tight, and then that, how well you can see it, but it's sucking the tire down into the little cup that it's formed there. So now the tire can't bounce out. It's in park, so it can't really roll either, so it's retained in there. One thing you want to pay attention to, which is why I wanted it pretty centered, and I didn't want a whole bunch of room hanging out. You want the tire to be pretty centered. More, the further you have the tire in closer to here, the more weight it'll support. If you have it out here, it'll want to bend your L-arm. You don't want to bend your L-arms, because then they don't want to go back in their holders and everything else. So keep that in mind when you're doing this. Some trucks have different style L-arms, have like a little spoon on it, and some trucks have actual spoons as opposed to L-arms, which are nice. Yeah. Kenworth I used to drive had a Miller Century bed that had spoons on the L-arms. They were so nice. All right, so those, pretty sure this is, that's all the way out, which I really don't like, but considering our tolerance is there, I kind of have to. Again, these trucks aren't super heavy. We're picking up the light end of the truck anyways. Not last, but next step is safety chains. That's all the way out. That there. So, on these trucks, go to our axle here, and I'm going to take this. You could also put the chain around, hook it back to itself. Really wished I had that other camera angle so y'all could see what I'm doing. I'm trying to show you as best I can. Trying to feed this around without catching a brake line. All right. So now, want to go. We're gonna unhook this bungee. We're gonna go over there and grab that. Then we can go over the wheel lift, and this tolerance there isn't really a big deal. We're gonna hook that chain and then that chain link right there. So then your chain hangs from here like that. So now, obviously this is where our room for turning is going to be. So we're going to have to gauge, you know, we don't want it dragging the ground. At the same time, we want to have enough room to turn, because when we turn that way, that chain's going to want to go tight. So what you can do is use this bungee here. Grab it like that, keep your chain up, and then you can, you know, give yourself a little bit extra slack so it's not dragging the ground, but that will stretch and allow you to have enough room to turn, as opposed to, you know, just dragging the chain around everywhere. So we'll do the same thing on the other side. Grab this and our safety chain, just about all the way out on the other side. That there. Yeah. This side we got brake lines, but it's on the inside of it here. Yeah. I'm sorry, I know y'all can't see what it is I'm doing. So I'm gonna go around here. There's really no weight on these. All right, so same thing here. We're going to take our there, so over the wheel lifts, hook that chain, that one hangs there, so this one, stop it from going like that. We're gonna run that out about like that. Go in a little bit more. Okay. All right, so now we have safety chains, we have straps. Next thing is tow light. This is a wireless tow light. Receiver plugs in there to the same place the trailer wiring or the wired tow lights normally go. Functions. I just put a fresh charge on this, so we're gonna stick this. Luckily, this is a steel truck. These newer aluminum trucks are a pain in the butt because then obviously magnets don't stick to them. So, tow lights, straps, steering wheel secured. One thing that is important to check on vehicles, especially when you're going backwards with them, is what can catch air, because vehicles aren't made to go backwards very fast. So keep an eye out for stuff like this, because wind will catch that, and then this just blows off. So watch out for stuff like that. Mirrors, vent windows if it's like an old school kind of vehicle where it has like the vent windows. Not many new vehicles have those now. Windows can catch air, catch rocks. Back windows, if they have like the split windows, watch out for stuff like that. Tonneau covers. Tonneau covers, camper shells, stuff like that are important to pay attention to. Those will catch wind. So what I like to do is I'll get some painter's tape. Some those here. And if you just take a piece of painter's tape, if you can stop wind from getting under it, come on now, don't do that to me. If you can stop wind from getting under it, you can stop it from getting blown open. Best way I've found to do that, just take a piece of painter's tape, put over the leading edge there. Of course, the tape had to get all messed up. I've done the same thing for camper shells. If you put, around the leading edge where the wind would catch. So that's better. That's a better piece. So now, wind flows over that, it can't catch it. You can do the same thing for camper shells, tonneau covers, vent windows, anything like that that could catch air. You can stop from catching air. All right, so that should be just about everything. I can't think of anything else we would need. I forgot my gloves over there, don't want to lose those. So that is how you set up the double tow. There's other ways, a few little things you can change here and there, a few things you got to watch out for, but that's the basics. That's kind of the basic idea of how you do it. All right, so we are done with this one. We are going to get it hauled to the shop so these trucks can get it fixed and the company can get to using their new fleet. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.